It's a new week, and you all know what that means. A brand new Hillary Clinton scandal has come to light, this time involving her IT specialist, Paul Combetta, who took to Reddit to ask them for advice on how to cover up her tracks. So, in a post submitted 2 years ago under the username of Stone Tier, he asked, "Hello all, I may be facing a very interesting situation where I need to strip out a VIP's very VIP email address from a bunch of archived email that I have both in a live exchange mailbox as well as a PST file. Basically, they don't want the VIP's email address exposed to anyone and want to be available to either strip out or replace the email address in the to/from fields in all of the emails we want to send out. I am not sure if something like this is possible with PowerShell or exporting all of the emails to MSG and doing a find replace with a batch processing program of some sort. Does anyone have experience with something like this and or suggestions on how this might be accomplished?" So clearly this individual wanted to cover the tracks of a VVIP person, but the question is, how do we know that this is Paul Combetta? Well, even though it hasn't been confirmed as of yet, there's a couple of things that gave it away. So Stone Tier is the same handle he uses for his email address, which was associated with his name online previously, and this is also the same handle he uses on his Etsy account, and also the time when he made this post coincides directly with the time in which Clinton deleted thousands of emails from her private email server. The Hill explains, the Reddit message was sent on July 23rd of 2014 according to an archive of the page saved by other users the day before the Benghazi Committee had reached an agreement with the State Department on the production of related records according to the FBI's investigation into Clinton's use of the server. And now user Stone Tier on Reddit has deleted all of his submissions and has been trying to clean up his account. So all signs point to Stone Tier, in fact, being Paul Combetta. But again, this is not confirmed yet. We just have an abundance of evidence to imply that this probably is Paul Combetta. Now, if this is actually him with Platte River Networks, the firm who actually managed Clinton's private email server, well then this would be pretty big. So the Hill explains, Combetta appeared under subpoena in a committee hearing last week on the alleged destruction of evidence, but both he and colleague Bill Thornton exercised their Fifth Amendment right to not testify. According to the FBI's notes, longtime Clinton aide Cheryl Mills instructed Platte River Networks to delete a set of archived emails in December 2014. Mills told investigators Clinton had decided she no longer needed access to emails older than 60 days, but the technician apparently forgot the request and didn't immediately comply. According to the FBI report, between March 25th and March 31st of 2015, the technician believed he had an oh shit moment and deleted the Clinton archive mailbox from the Platte River Network server. Clinton and Mills told the FBI that they had no knowledge of the technician's deletion of the emails. So we have contradictory reports from Platte River Networks and Hillary Clinton and her aide Cheryl Mills. So even though we don't have all of the details, things are really starting to add up in what looks like a very clear case of Hillary Clinton and her aides and IT specialists trying to cover her tracks. Now, in a related story, Brian Pagliano, the Clinton aide that set up Clinton's private email server, will actually be held in contempt of Congress for failing to show up for several subpoenas. So according to The Hill, the former State Department employee declined to appear at an oversight hearing on Clinton's server last week in spite of a subpoena demanding his presence. The committee held a follow-up hearing on the same subject on Thursday morning, which Pagliano also declined to attend. When Pagliano didn't show, Republicans immediately adjourned the hearing and held a business meeting to vote on the Contempt of Congress resolution. So even though this is a new story, at this point, it's kind of taking the same pattern as all the other ones. We have a plethora of information, but nothing confirmed, and we also have a reason to believe that suspicious activity was in fact going on Hillary Clinton's behalf. So, we have people rushing to delete emails. We have Hillary Clinton aides not appearing before Congress when they've been subpoenaed to do so, which is against the law. And then we have so many different people all pleading the fifth. Now, again, that's well within their constitutional rights as American citizens to plead the fifth and not testify and potentially incriminate yourself. But again, this is something that's very suspicious, and you wouldn't necessarily be worried that you're going to incriminate yourself if you were innocent. So I think that this is all... Okay, for me personally, as someone who has spoken about the Hillary Clinton email and has covered this, I think, consistently, I'm personally getting tired of hearing about Hillary Clinton's damn emails. But again, we have to get to the bottom of this. The American people have a right to know. Hillary Clinton was not indicted, so there's not going to be any trial or anything. So we're not really going to know whether or not she's guilty in the court of law. But I think that we need as much information as possible to determine whether or not she's guilty in the court of public opinion. Now, when you look at public opinion polls, well, many of them believe that either Hillary Clinton should have been indicted or that she is guilty. And there's so much about this case and this story that's just incredibly suspicious. But I mean, I think that we all can connect the dots here and realize that Hillary Clinton created a private server, which is unprecedented, mind you, just to avoid transparency. She didn't want any of her personal emails being part of the public record. She didn't want them to be subjected to FOIA requests. Because, look, there's a lot of suspicious behavior with Hillary Clinton. We already know that she failed to disclose 1,100 donations from the Clinton Foundation. She gave a majority of Clinton Foundation donors access to her while she was Secretary of State. So, I mean, there's this direct conflict of interest. Citizens rightfully are asking questions about it. So, doing these things, even if Hillary Clinton is completely innocent, she's not helping her case. We all know she's not innocent. We all know that she did, in fact, intend to send or receive classified information, even if there's no evidence of said intent, which I disagree with that, because I think if you're going to set up a private email server in your home, the intent's all there. So, look, we have to get to the bottom of this. We may never know. I personally don't think that we're going to know everything, but as more details emerge, then, it's going to become more and more clear. But we have a right to know. This is someone who wants to be the most powerful person in the country. So I think that we have a right to know. We have a right to ask questions. So honestly, kudos to the Reddit community for doing what many journalists either fail to do or don't want to do.